Hey guys, Michael with Mealey Marine, and in today's video, Grumpy's not here today. We got Big Dog Hugh. You can probably hear him. He's sanding, getting ready for epoxy. So what we're going to do today is we're going to start taking carpet off. We're going to start here at the back of the boat. We're going to get all this taken off, take the lids off first, then we'll take this carpet off, and then take the carpet off on the lids. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay guys, so we just got all the lids taken off the back of the boat here. Now, one thing that I did that I think is definitely going to help with reinstallation is I marked where all the hinges are. So I marked where the edge of the hinge is going to be, and then where each hole is, and then roughly it's 1 inch up from the fiberglass right here. So I did that on all of them, and that was our biggest problem with the 363, was putting the hinges back where they go. So when you're doing this, just be sure to label everything, as much information as you can for when you go and put it back. I just got the carpet off the back deck here. Got it off in one piece, pretty much. I had a slight tear. When I took off the little seat pedestal area, it ripped. So, I just marked it short. I marked which way this goes around, so that's bow, port, starboard, and then obviously that we got stern. And this piece is obvious which way it lays. So yeah, it's all good. When we cut the template, we'll obviously cut it a little bit oversized, but this came out real nice. Obviously still have to get all this stuff off of here, and something that I always think is cool, this is like the original what flake, and then what clear type it's going to be, and that's pretty cool. So somewhere in 92, Jack looks like Jack did it. What else is there? Oh, flake by, and then I don't know, and then maybe like the number or something. I don't know. That's pretty cool. Anyway, so now we're gonna start taking the carpet off the lids and the latches off the lids. It's very important. You need to keep your latch or your hinge with your lid, okay, and in the same direction. Trust me, it'll just make life a lot easier.
So you and Michael have been working very, very hard to get the glue out of this. Now, this takes time, and you've got to be very, very careful. This is one of those times that you need to be careful about how you go about this, because you do not want to mess with the integrity of the hull. But at the same time, you've got to get the old glue up. Because if you don't get the old glue up, when you add the new glue to it, it's going to kind of activate it, and then the glue doesn't work correctly. And then the carpet comes up after a while, which we don't want. So this is one of those situations where, unfortunately, because there's glue already down there, don't know how many years of dirt that was under this carpet, but there was a lot of dirt under this carpet. You have to get all of that out. If you do not get that out, your glue is not going to work and your carpet is going to come off. If you try to do that, we talked about this from the last boat, but the last boat we'd already removed the carpet, and I think a mistake we made here was we should have removed the carpet a week ago. And what tends to happen is when you do that, just the general traffic and stuff tends to take a lot of this stuff up. So a jitterbug, some Scotch-Brite, and you agitate it. You get the glue off, and you want to kind of agitate this surface so it's not super shiny. Don't go taking 40 grit to the thing, okay? Just don't do that. Still got to get around the edges here and clean all this up. But this is one of those balancing acts of getting it clean enough, agitated enough to get the new glue to stick, get the old glue out, and then everybody's happy. If you don't, you're not going to be very happy with your final product, okay? It's just not going to work. If there's dirt in here and crap in here, I can guarantee you, no matter how good the glue you've got, it's not going to work, especially in an environment where it's going to be getting wet, etc. We used some Gooby Gum. Got to let this stuff work. Works fairly well. Works very well on the painted surfaces. Didn't work so well over here. We obviously use some other chemicals. We don't want to be promoting anybody's chemicals, but if you do use chemicals, use them sparingly, very sparingly. Certain things react to the resins and stuff, so be very, very careful about how you use it, where you use it, do your homework. You will notice that we're outside because of the fumes. So if you're going to do something like this, do your research. To be honest with you, there's no quick fix here. It just takes elbow grease. And that's what we have you here for. You has been working hard, scraping and scrubbing, and that's what it takes. There is no quick fix for this. We haven't found one. A little of this, a little of that. Some areas where it's particularly thick, we had to break it up. We used a wire wheel to help agitate it too, because we was just having trouble getting the old glue up. But take your time, make sure it's real clean before you get started. We've still probably got a couple more hours to go on this, believe it or not. All the corners, got to really get into these corners, get that dirt out, the old glue out, because that'll be where it starts. The water and stuff will get underneath. Next thing you know is your carpet is lifting up. So you want to agitate it. You don't want to be taking layers of whatever this crap is.
Fiberglass.
What's this stuff called?
Fiberglass?
Well, not the fiberglass, the gel coat and stuff, because you can tell, you can tell where the mold was joined here. So that's the key. I think if you take it off early and let it kind of just air out, probably it would help out a little bit. So just keep those things in mind and make sure you're in a big, clean, open environment if you do something like this, okay?
Alright guys, so I'm going to do an update. I haven't set up any of the cameras because I've just been running around all day trying to get a bunch of stuff done, and sometimes setting up the cameras is more hassle than it's worth. So yesterday, before we left, me and Hugh put blue tape on the rub rail and covered up all the pieces that needed to be protected. These pieces of blue tape right here mark where the hinge kind of lines up and where the holes for when we put the carpet in and put the lids on. I also, this morning, I roughly bolted this in. It's not fully bolted in because I need two people, or I need somebody else to help me do that. So we got that done. It's coming along. I'm really debating whether I should detail now or detail tomorrow. I'm probably just gonna detail the top of the boat today, because tomorrow we really want to work on getting this lid done, and yeah, doing that. So we're gonna do that. Let me take you to the back, show you guys what we did back there. All right, so back here in the woodworking section, I cut a piece of that polyboard out, placed it in here. I got this screwed down. This isn't glued or anything yet. It's just sitting in there. And I went around with a, I don't know what kind of knife this is called, but went around with this, and then did a little sand to make it flush, and it looks really good. So we got that. Then over here I did some light sanding, and now I am putting a layer of flat black paint. And all this is simply here to do is if the carpet or just a piece of the plastic doesn't perfectly cover it up, you'll just see black. So yeah, we're doing that right now, and I'm gonna just kind of be hopping back and forth, trying to get a lot done, try to get this stuff painted. I'm painting something else, which I'm not going to show you guys till Clyde picks up the boat. It's a little surprise for Clyde, and yeah, I'm just trying to get as much done as I can today, because tomorrow we really want to get this like installed, done, ready to go. Get this installed, done, ready to go, and get ready for carpeting on Monday. Which after that we're pretty close to being done.
So we got the lid in, and it's very sturdy. Just want to give everybody a heads up, it's extremely humid here in Houston today, and this is wet or slippery. So I don't want to bust my ass. Just like a lot of things on this project, it takes a little bit to get it all lined up. We've got it lined up fairly well. We have a little bit of a spring, but that's because of the hinge right now. There's nothing we can do about it. We're not going to start making that adjustment until we get the carpet on, because we'll just keep adjusting and adjusting. I think overall it's going really well. We have 4 bolts up here. We've got to put 2 more bolts in, but there's no point in doing that until we get the carpet and everything in. One other thing in regards to the stainless, make sure you use a little bit of no-sees on stainless to stainless, because if they gall, you're not going to get them apart. We had one gall on us, and it literally snapped itself. So just a little bit of no-sees. You know, we're using a lock nut on the back side, but just put a little bit of no-sees in there. You know, obviously, usually people aren't taking this stuff in and out. You know, hindsight being 2020, we probably could have used some grade 8 or grade 5s to do the assembly and then did the final with stainless, but you know, we all live and learn. I think Michael's real happy with the way it's turned out. He's put a lot of work into this. So you know, it's always nice when these things get finished up the way that they are. Like I said, it's strong. This is because it's really damp here, and I almost busted my ass. We forgot that the carpet's no longer in, and we've cleaned up down there, so it's really kind of slippery on this deck. Talked about taking the carpet out earlier, and I'm glad we did now, because we've all been slipping around. But this is, I would say, pretty much close to the end. We've not put all the trim on. There's no point, because this has got to come back out. Pretty sure it's got to come back out. Yeah, it's got to come back out to be carpeted. We did put carpet in places to double check. We might have to make some minor adjustments, but that's just part of it. A couple of things on your epoxy, and I'm going to have a little chat with you about this, is that when you're doing your epoxy, don't get too slap happy with it. I think that, you know, we've got some good 2 coats on this, but part of the problem is on the edges where it rolls over. Take a few minutes to clean it up. Gonna have to have a chat with you about that. Of course, he's a young guy, he's learning, he's getting his mine's getting ready for his tournament down in Florida. So we'll have a chat with him on Monday about that, just so we're all on the same page. But I think this transforms the boat. I think we'll get Michael up here with the camera. You kind of take a down shot at it. I think it's pretty impressive. I think that everybody, you, Michael, Valerie, everybody's worked hard on this. We appreciate the customer. It's got the customer's name.
Clyde.
Clyde. Well, I'm sorry, Clyde. It's been a tough morning. But we appreciate Clyde letting us do this. And things turned out good. I think once all the trim and everything's on it, it's going to be good. We'll get Michael up here to show a down shot.
That's a big storage locker.
Huh?
That's a big storage locker. Good morning, guys. So mom's here and we're getting ready to start cutting out carpet. The boat is all stripped down, and luckily this time we have a nice template of all the pieces, so we're just starting in the middle. We're going to work our way back. We obviously ordered way too much carpet, but it's better too much than too little. So we're just cutting. We're just going to work our way back and going to try to keep everything in the middle looking good. Like I said, the boat is stripped down. Hugh's over there prepping the 363 to get sold, hopefully today. And yeah, so stick around. Alright, so a little pro tip here while we're cutting out some carpet. You want really clean edges, right in here. A great little tip is get some straight edges. And after you have, you got your glue under here, you take your straight edge and press it down into the corner. And what that does is it gives your razor blade a good surface to go guide it along as you're cutting it, and it'll give you nice clean cuts like this. Alright, so we're going to start here on the front of the boat. We're laying down some glue on one half of the boat, and then we're going to lay the carpet on top, rub our hands all over it, compress it down, and make sure that it's stuck. So we did the front deck, and now what we're going to do is we're going to go along the edge. We're going to cut it. We used a scraper, put it at a 45 degree, and used our razor blade to cut, and it gives you a really clean edge because it kind of like buckles the carpet. After that, we went ahead and we started working on the middle of the boat. This is probably the most difficult part of the whole carpeting. It's just an awkward area to be in, especially with two people. So just take your time. Make sure you cut this piece probably larger than the other pieces because of the area, the type of shape that it is. Just a little to guess. So now that we got all the pretty much base carpet done, we're going to start carpeting the lids. We start with the top and the sides, and then we fold over and clip the ends, and that applies pressure. And then what we do is we cut the corners, crimp them again, and then we do the inside lip as well. Make sure that you get a lot of glue in there, because that's an area that it will start to peel up. And be sure to continuously clean. The carpet glue that we use is really easy to clean with just a wet rag, like a damp rag. So, have a lot of damp rags around because you're going to get this stuff all over the place. So after we get the carpet all finished up, I'm going to go ahead and put the hinges on. And this is where having it in the right direction and on the right lid comes into play. We got Big Dog Hugh here installing the cable boot. And I think it turned out really nice. And now me and Big Dog Hugh again are trying to make the center locker fit, and I'm going to go over it here in a little bit, so stay tuned. All right, guys, so I didn't do a lot of updates yesterday. We were just in the middle of it, and we weren't having a good time, and things weren't going right. So we spent roughly 8 hours yesterday, and we got this put in, and we got, you can't see it, but the little arm rest rod holder over there, we got that carpeted. Wow. So what took so long? So this thing, when we carpeted it, huh, on both sides, it pushed it out really far, a lot farther than we were expecting. So what that meant is we had to cut this down. We removed about a ½ inch. So since we had to cut that down, that meant we had to cut our top. And talk about a brain tease of this angle over here and everything. It just wasn't going right. But I think we got it figured out. We were actually really close to when we left yesterday. We were just fed up, or I was fed up, and didn't want to continue. What?
We needed to take a step back.
Yeah, we needed to take a step back, as Mom said. So I went home, I thought about it, and then this morning I asked my mom if she wanted to carpool. I was waiting for her, and my dad goes, "Hey, just remember, the lower down you go, the more steeper that angle gets." And I was like, ah. And so we came in and put some carpet underneath it like it was supposed to, and everything fit. So we are gluing it up. There's still one area that might need to be modified a little bit, and it's this whole little corner here. So we're going to carpet. We carpeted the face. Now we're carpeting the sides, and we're going to leave this uncarpeted. We're going to trim it like it's supposed to fit, but we're not going to glue this side down until we get it put in the boat and make sure everything is fitting properly. Then we have to install the hinge, and we're going to install it on the lid first, then take it over here and figure out some kind of way to install it here without messing a bunch of holes up. That blue tape with that mark in the middle is just a center line that was previously there. I think we're just going to make a new center line. Anyways, let's do some more walk around. Big Dog Hugh did a lot of work over the past couple days. We got this pushed down. We reinstalled a new boot, which I'm not like too impressed with this. I can see why Clyde cut it the first time, but it is what it is. We went and we've installed all the hinges. We have we put some caulking in here. We're probably gonna need to put a little bit more. But every compartment should be clean. Yep, very clean. All the lids are clean. Everything's looking good. He did a lot. I don't really remember everything I told him to do, but he did a lot. And yeah, so we're going to be working on this all day. I'll be very happy if we get this carpeted up, done, and installed.
Okay, so it's Monday morning, and it's Martin Luther King's birthday, I think. But it's Martin Luther King Day, so I hope you all are having a good Martin Luther King. I was trying to clean my toolbox, but I had to get back on this. So, Valerie and Michael did an outstanding job on this carpet. Needless to say, I was getting photographs and updates whilst they were doing it, but as always, the photographs and stuff don't do it justice. It's just really sets it to a new level. It's difficult to find the words to describe. I know they had really worked hard for 4 days on this. Some of it, some of the stuff went really well. Needless to say, our favorite locker gave us some opportunities, but that was to be expected, and probably I should have come in and helped them on that day. But anyway, they did a tremendous job, and if you guys want to have your boat recarpeted and what have you, you might want to reach out to Michael, and they did a good job on this. It takes time, and they continue to learn. Things get better every time they've done it. So, but I'm really happy with the way it's turned out, and especially when you take into consideration the age of the boat and all the things that you have to deal with